to another episode of the Happy Hippie. This is Julian Hunter here with another message from Spirit. So for today, the cards that came out are the Lion Spirit, and I do have to tell you that I did not trust my intuition for a moment, and I reshuffled, put this guy back in the deck, reshuffled, and he came right back out again. So he is, I'm not sure why, but going to be the rock star of this reading. And the Lion Spirit says, be generous of spirit. And the Groundhog card came out, and it says, time to let go. We have the creative blocks. Sorry, I'm having a little hard time getting these off the table. The trust card. This one has the white dove and it says rising above. And then it says clarity, freedom, and solution. From the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, we have the river. Boy, these are really stuck to the desk. We have the river. We have the possessions card that says belongings, finances, assets, and treasures. The grounding card, which says nature, presence, practicality, and stability. And I'm going to come back and start explaining these in a minute. I'm just telling you what's all on the table. We have the flow card. Choose your battles. It's time to stop procrastinating. Let it go. From the Fairy Oracle deck, we have the Secret Doorway, working with intuition, second sight opening, and dimensional doorways. From the Super Attractor deck, we have the Universe Powerfully Responds the instant I align with love. Isn't that pretty with the feather? From the Colette Baron Reed Map deck, we have the Spark card. Her decks are always so pretty. From the Self-Care deck, we have Positive Affirmations. And I do want to read what it says around, because there's more to this card if you see it in person. It says, I love myself, brave, beautiful, worthy, grateful, healthy, happy. And this says, I choose love. And I guess the rest of it is just symbols, but that's the Positive Affirmations card. We have the Courage card. So the lion made a second showing. And from the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light deck, we have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. I did pull some tarot cards that I put down and a couple of empowering questions, but we're going to get to those at the end. For now, let's start deciphering this message from Spirit. So one of the very first things that I see here is these two cards came out, which are root chakra cards. And one of them is possessions and one of them is grounding. I don't know if you've watched our Astrocast forecast yet, but we were just talking about the sun is going to be moving into Taurus this week. You may be watching this at a different point in time in the future than the energy of when this was written, but that is okay. The goal of this channel is to always have the messages be timeless. So this is what came out at the astrological energy of what came out when we shot this. But if you're watching this 6 months or 5 years into the future, the message is perfect for you exactly when you see it. So I think that this is bringing definitely a Taurus energy into this, and also grounding and stability. So what I'm seeing is that there is some sort of blocks that is blocking your flow and is kind of frustrating you, and it's making you procrastinate on some things that your heart wants and your soul wants, but maybe you're scared. And so I go back to this, you've been training for this for lifetimes. And I think those of us who are in the spiritual industry, we've kind of been through some weird synchronicities and things. And I think that your soul is calling you to really dive into your creativity, and that there's some really cool things that are coming for you, especially with this Spark card and the Courage card. And then the Lion coming out twice. One thing we do have at the middle of this week is we have the moon moving into Leo. So I think that that Leo energy is going to create that positive spark. But I think what needs to happen first is just to take a moment or a day or whatever you need to figure out what it is that's holding you back. What is it that is blocking you? What is it that you need to let go of? What is it that you're scared of? And in order to make things flow like the river, I think that the first thing that Spirit is saying is to take some time and ground yourself. So one of my favorite ways that you can ground yourself, and I don't know where you live, but where we are right now, the sun is shining and spring is coming out, and it's that time of year that everything feels wonderful, that we can finally get back outside again, because we live in a town where it's very cold in the winter, but now the sun is shining and it's a whole new season. So one of my favorite things that you can do to really get grounded and connect with Mother Nature is to go outside if you can and find a tree. And if you have the ability to kick your shoes off and go out there barefoot and stand next to the tree, it is really, really powerful. If you can't do that, because I understand that not everybody has access to nature in the way that, you can always imagine this in your mind if you need to. But if you can find a way to get out into nature and either walk barefoot in the grass, sit in the grass, lay in the grass, stand next to a tree, hike in the mountains, whatever it is that you can connect, I think that that's what Spirit is saying, that first, let's get you grounded. So let's get you grounded. Let's get rid of some of that stuff, because it's almost like the Hoover Dam, which excitingly enough, Hunter is about ready to go see the Hoover Dam on a vacation soon, huh? So I think when you think about like a Hoover Dam like that, it's creating that barrier and it's blocking that flow. And that's what something is going on that is just clinging to it. And I see this possessions, and I keep thinking of like a clinging energy, like clinging onto something that your soul is just saying, okay, come on, we're done with this. And when you let go of that and you allow the energy to flow again, like as when they open up that, like the creative blocks are just going to go away, because the energy is just going to flow in this new direction that you've been training for. So weirdly, we have the letting go card twice out here. And I think that the answer to that is, first of all, you got to get grounded. And then we have the secret doorway card, working with intuition, second sight, dimensional doorways. What that is telling me is to kind of get lost in the magic. So after you spend some time to go, you know what, I'm ready to let go of this, and kind of ground yourself, then maybe how can you shift towards something fun, creative, new? Like, how can you shift your mind, shift your energy to run off in a new direction? And this card here that says the universe powerfully responds the universe powerfully responds the instant I realign with love. And then, so you have this positive affirmations card over here. So these two are definitely working together, where I think if you can ground yourself and just let that one little thing that's holding you back, that's causing that block, to go, and let your energy flow in a new creative way, that just awesome things are coming. And that this rising above, it kind of reminds me of the rising phoenix, but that one little tweak is going to take you in a whole new, better direction very quickly over the next coming hours, days, and weeks. So let that river flow in a new, positive, creative direction. So, Hunter, is there anything you see here that you think needs to go?
I was just going to say, I'm glad you got the exact same message as me, because before I was reading this completely different, and then all of a sudden, right when you started, it just, boom, hit me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to say that. And then you started saying the exact same thing, and I was like, oh, thank goodness we're getting the same message on this, okay.
Right. And I think the rock star of this is this lion energy, which is the fire element. If you are into the 4 directions, that would be the direction of the south. So maybe you could go outside and face the south direction, and maybe connecting with the spirit of that lion would be beneficial to give you that kind of courage to break through whatever that block is, to open the floodgate and to go. I think leaning into magic and leaning into love is the answer to stopping procrastinating and making this awesome new thing that you want happen. So I believe that is what Spirit is saying here. I do have a few more cards for you, but I'm kind of out of room on this, so I'm going to go ahead and take these guys out of the way. I think that's enough room. We'll leave those guys over there. And let's see what we got out of the tarot. This is the Light Seers Tarot deck. Okay, and then I pulled a couple of empowering questions. Oh, these are cool. Okay, so the questions that we have is, what am I thankful for today? So as part of the solution to a new boost of energy is to always remember to focus on gratitude. And that can change your state, change your shift very quickly when you go from clinging on to what you feel is wrong in life to being thankful for all that you do have. Oh, this one's interesting. What kind of advice on life would my old self give my current self? Oh, I like that. Actually, I think that's the first time I've really seen that card. So, kind of reminds me of the Brad Paisley song, Letter to Me. He writes a letter to his 17-year-old self. Love that song. Yeah, that just kind of reminded me of that. But, so you've grown, you've evolved, you've changed so much. Whether you're talking about a past self from last week or last month or 10 years ago or yourself as a little kid, maybe just tune in and ask yourself, what advice would my old self give my current self? And maybe that can even flip-flop. What would my current self have done differently? Sometimes that's healing. So, and here at Happy Hippie, we are all about healing and getting rid of the crap and the gunk that holds you back and feeling better. So that is the cards that came out from the Empowering Questions deck. Now on to the tarot. We have the Emperor, which would be the Aries card. We have Eight of Cups, Two of Wands, Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. Whoa, if I can get this out here. Okay, so let's see what we see when looking at these. The Emperor, I think that flavor is sort of just washing over the rest of these cards, being almost you could put him down here at the end, but I think this flavor kind of washes over. And ironically, that is the Aries card, and the sun is currently in Aries, getting ready to move into Taurus. So I think that right now we still have that last degrees of Aries, that last push, that passion, that fire, that cardinal fire energy. So I think that this is sort of flavoring what we have over here. Now the Eight of Cups card, she's walking away. She's decided what she's done with. She's decided what she's ready to let go of. She knows that those 8 cups from the past just aren't quite it for her. And she knows that by going out and walking away from the 8 cups to go out and find the 9 and the 10, whatever is missing, whether it's a creative, something new, something project, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a different career, whatever it is, she realizes that those 8 cups are just not quite doing it, and she knows that the 9 and the 10 are better. So she has the courage, like that lion, she has the courage to say, you know what, I'm going to go create something better. I've done this, and it's good, but it's not quite it for me, and I'm going to have the courage to walk away and create something better. And then you have the 2 of Wands, and she's daydreaming, and she's coming up with some new things that she wants to manifest. And she's looking out into the future. As you can see, she's looking out to the right. She's daydreaming out the window, and she is planning some new stuff that she is ready to go after. The 3 of Pentacles brings in the energy of collaboration. So this could be with friends, this could be with coworkers, this could be with family. But the energy of collaboration and spending some time working on things together with other souls. You know, and one thing that I just got on that, working together with things on souls. One of the messages that might be for somebody out there is that there's something missing, that Spirit is telling you to go take a class, go back to a yoga class, go to some sort of a spiritual place where like-minded souls are hanging out and they're doing great things. So I think that collaboration, that could take form in a lot of different ways. Whatever it is for you, what's available in the area that you're in and what you like to do. But somehow I think that Spirit is saying there's a missing component, that it's time for you to get out there and collaborate with some like-minded souls. The Queen of Cups, she's filling up her own cup, is basically what she's doing over here. The Queen of Cups, cups are an emotional sign. It's the water sign. We are starting this week off right now with the moon in Cancer. So we are in the element of water currently with the moon. And so the Queen of Cups, what her major gift that she's bringing is she knows what she's missing, and she takes inspired action out of self-love to try to give that to herself. So I think we all could use a big dose of Queen of Cups energy, because her cups are full, and then she has plenty to give other people. So Queen of Cups to me always is like a self-love card, because she pays attention to, if you look at like the 9 of Cups or the 10 of Cups, you have different, cups, and one of them might be your career, one of them might be your family, one of them might be your social life, one of them might be your spirituality, one of them is just, I think around here especially, we think about that inner environment, that inner world of what is going on inside of you. How are you really feeling? Because you can say whatever words you want to say. You can try to put on a happy face. You can do the mundane things all day. But at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is, how do you truly feel inside? And I think it's our biggest job, and that is self-care. That is self-care in a nutshell. And, just as a side note, I'm going to get distracted here for a minute, but the word self-care has been kind of dragged through the mud by marketers. They looked at the spiritual industry who was talking about self-care. They realized that a lot of people were into that word, and they took off running with it. And they're trying to sell products with it. But the problem is, some of them, not all, I'm not throwing them all in one boat, but some of them are just using that word to try to sell you luxurious things. And they're trying to tell you that self-care is bubble baths and expensive things. And I mean, look at some of the brands and stuff. Like, Like, Hunter knows a lot more about the brands than I do, you know. But how many times have you even seen, like, some of those brands, they're trying to pawn off their...
Too many.
Yeah, they're trying to pawn off their stuff as self-care. Dude, that's not self-care. That is not self-care. Self-care is having the courage and the prioritizing in your life to tune into yourself and say, how am I really doing? What's hurting me? What's bothering me? What can I let go of? What am I missing? What is it that I need? How do I actually feel today? Because I don't think there's anything sadder, and we talk about this sometimes. You know, we call ourselves the happy hippies because we have just put so much time and effort into trying to let go of all that other stuff that I think there's this beautiful place of actually feeling like you're actually happy. Like, you're not putting on a front. You're not putting on a fake thing.
Genuinely happy.
Really happy. You wake up in the morning and you're like excited about life. You know, that I think is the goal. You know, maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you're not there yet. But if nobody else has told you, it's possible. You know, you can do this. You can, little by little, peel back layers, let stuff go, heal. And there is a point in the future. You know, in spiritual work, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it is not sunshine and roses and unicorns, is it? You know?
Not.
No.
It's not.
No, because sometimes the tower, you know, in the tarot, the tower card has to come along. Sometimes stuff's got to get shaken up.
You got to tear stuff down to build it back up as positive.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, relationships got to fall away. Jobs got to change. You know, different situations. Sometimes you're going to go through hard stuff. But that is your soul. It's not punishment. That is your soul gaining strength, learning those lessons, and there's good, new, bright stuff coming for you that you can't see yet around the corner. So just as a side note, if you're listening to this message right now and you're frustrated, you're sad, you're irritated, you're depressed, and you're not feeling like the happy hippie right now, just take this as a bit of encouragement. You can do this. It is going to get better. There are great things coming for you that you just can't see yet. You can't see around that corner yet, and it might feel tough in this moment, but hang in there, kid. Come on, you got this. You got this. It is going to get better. Okay? So, if you're suffering, we're sorry for what you're going through right now, and we're excited for the awesome things that you just can't see yet. And we're cheering you on over here. So that's okay. So what self-care really is, we kind of got off on that. Okay, so the brands and the marketers and everybody, you know, I'm a marketing major, and you know, I've been around business and studied business for a while. And I love marketing. That is actually the degree that I went to school for. Graduated from college for it. The problem is sometimes, and especially it seems like right now with the internet and social media, and you know, there's so much marketing in your face all the time. You know, Facebook ads and, you know, websites and all that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm not trashing on it. But what I don't like is when they're taking the word self-care, which should be clear that you are trying to take care of yourself, and it's not a monetary thing. It is not money and possessions.
You can't buy self-care.
No, it's not a fancy trip to a resort. It's not a $600 spa day. I mean, it could be. It could be. And if you have the means for that, and that is what you love and what you want, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We like nice things around here, right? Like, yeah, I mean, me and Hunter, you know, we say happy hippie, but dude, we're living a good life over here, and neither one of us is, you know, trying to say, you know, live like, you know, you should be living below your means and you should be poor. No, you will never hear us say that on this channel, because that is not what that is about. But self-care might be taking the day off and going to a spa if that's your thing. But it might be going out and sitting in your yard and sitting under the tree.
Going to a local park.
Yeah. It might be taking a bubble bath. It might be sitting for 5 minutes and looking at a candle flame just to clear your mind. It might be putting on a set of headphones and listening to some soothing music to calm you down. It might be calling your best friend to vent because some stuff is bothering you and you just need to get it out and you need some encouragement. It might be laying in bed all day watching Netflix. If that is what you need and you're tired and you're worn out, there's nothing wrong with that. It might be going outside under the moon. We love that. It might be going out and standing for 10, 15 minutes in the yard and looking up at the stars and looking up at the moon. And none of that stuff costs anything. So self-care can cost something if the end result, if you want to go on a trip, you want to go to the spa, you want to do this, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't let these marketers who are trying to sell you products use the word self-care and tell you that's how you take care of yourself. Because that's crap.
For everybody, it's different.
Yeah. So that is just, I'm sorry, I had to go off on that little rant because I hate that when I see, like, in a Facebook ad that this is self-care. No, that is your brand. And you are trying to tell these people, Then you wonder why people are so hurting and upset. Dude, we got to stop living by what the marketers tell us. Like, that is just not cool. Sorry, I'm going to go off on a second rant here because another thing that I think is exactly perfect and I want to tell, and it's not just women, and we've talked about this a lot around here. Oh, this is going to be a rant. I'm sorry, but here we go. Chime in whenever you want to. So one of the things that we have talked about around here quite a bit is the fact that the marketing industry and the beauty industry has wrecked the self-esteem of pretty much everybody, but so many people over so long, and it has transformed, and we've talked about this. Social media has taken it it's taken it to a whole new level. Absolutely. So if you look back, even at, we were talking about this a couple months ago or something, but you look back at the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, you can start seeing where they started having like newspaper ads and magazine ads and stuff coming out.
Well, I think that Marilyn Monroe is what kicked that off to a whole new level.
Right. And they used her, they used her for that purpose, which that's a whole other side note. But
that's coming from a 23-year-old with a million-year-old soul.
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly. No, but it's sad. And, we've talked about that so much. I have two daughters. I was a child and a teenager throughout like the 80s and 90s. So from my generation, we didn't have social media, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have any of those things. Thank God, because we got it bad enough from, Teen Magazine and Tiger Beat and, all of the makeup commercials and things like that. But the marketing industry really took over, the fashion industry. You can throw it all in one big boat. And I understand that those people are just trying to do their job. But what they did in the meantime was they took the self-esteem of pretty much every girl on the planet and said, you have to look like this. And you got Playboy magazines and Cosmo magazines and everything.
I was just about to say, Hugh Hefner didn't help.
Right. And they start airbrushing these people. And, I'm always reminded of Dr. Phil, who says, he lives in Hollywood, and he says, even Cindy Crawford doesn't look like Cindy Crawford. And Cindy Crawford will get on TV with no makeup on and be like, look, this is the real me. I have flaws. I don't look like that. An entire team of people took 8 hours to make me look like that. But these poor young girls don't understand that. So they look in the mirror, they see the scars, they see the moles, they see the freckles, they see where they don't look like Cindy Crawford. So that took it to a whole new level. And so that kind of flavor started in, I think, just from some of the things I've seen. I wasn't around then, but like the 50s and the 60s and stuff, the 70s. And then you get into the 80s and the 90s and you started having it in print and you started having, you got MTV and you got those kind of things. And I don't think it was nearly as bad, but it all seemed to be targeted pretty much at girls back then. But like we've talked about, that ain't the case anymore. No. And you poor young guys are going through, well, guys of all ages, but your generation is going through the same crap. You want to...
Oh, it's all social media. It's why I refuse to go on it anymore. I mean, I quite literally have taken it to the point where I will put a timer on all of my social medias just because it's not worth my time anymore.
Right.
Just because it's all you see is stuff shoved in your face, shoved in your face, shoved in your face. And I'd rather go sit out and mow the lawn.
Well, it makes you just feel bad about yourself and that. So if you're dealing with any of that and you're, if you're looking at your Facebook and every time you look at your Facebook, you see friends who are going on vacations or they're looking like they're having the perfect life and, this and that. And because it's big. And I don't think it matters what gender you are. I don't think it matters what age you are. I don't think it matters where you live.
I don't think there's any boundaries as far as that goes.
Yeah, I don't think so. And it's not that those people can't do, that's their thing. They can do what they want. But as part of self-care, if that's hurting you, then maybe the part of self-care that you need is kind of tune it out a little bit. And maybe that's taking a little break, or maybe it's knocking down the time. Instagram, I love Instagram, but you got all these photographers that are purposely making things seem so perfect.
Nobody's willing to push out their flaws anymore.
Right. And I think that the world is suffering from that. And I think that, dude, that's not what we need. That is not what we need. And I think that is, wonder why everybody's got depression and anxiety and why we got these, drug problems from all these, because they're numbing out, because they're hurt. They're hurt and they're full of pain. That's why they're doing the drugs. That's why they're numbing out. That's why they're doing everything. So what they need is to release a little bit of that pressure. Ooh, and that's a good thing. You remember when these cards were out when we had the river and that we were talking about the Hoover Dam and the let it flow and all of that? That is a good insight there too, that they're holding all that stuff inside and they're stuffing their emotions. And we've all been there. So when I say they, trust me, we know. We've been there. We clawed our way out of this. We've done that, We've both suffered from anxiety, from depression, from, we've tried to numb out. We've done all those things. So we ain't judging you at all if that's where you're at. We are not judging you at all. But
there
we're
is
just...
no judgment in a happy hippie's
eyes. No, there is not. But that's, if you're feeling like that and you're feeling like when you're seeing other people, if it's getting all of that feeling less than, not good enough, not, like your life is just not stacking up.
Well, in social media, it takes that transformative kind of journey. Mm-hmm. You don't see that.
No.
You never do.
No, you don't. And you don't, a lot of people, even like, let's take rock stars and rappers and actors and everybody, you don't see the struggle that they got to, and then there's all these people that, I'm sorry, but the people that are just jealous and ripping on people for being successful and ripping on people for having money, dude, come on. Nobody just fell into that. Like, you didn't see the 5, 10, 20, 30-year struggle that half of these people got, you didn't see them when they were playing, when they weren't making any money. You didn't see their 10,000 hours of practice.
Jeff Bezos didn't start out as Jeff Bezos.
Right. Well, he had some insight. That's a whole other thing, but but he had some insight and he worked for it. And so I think one of the other things that bothers us is when society kind of has this really jaded, screwed up view of anybody who's successful and has money and does nice things and is happy that, let's trash on them, let's cancel them. No, that's crap. That is crap. Do not feel bad for manifesting wonderful things. Do not feel bad for being successful. Do not feel bad for things turning out right in your life. When your life, and if you're hanging around people that's their mentality, I'd warn them once that you don't appreciate that, and if they keep that up, dude, that ain't your tribe.
And that's another side note. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's really hard to do, but
yeah.
To pick yourself up and find like-minded people, you'll you'll find yourself in a much better place.
Yeah. Well, and back to this self-care. You know what? Sometimes this self-care, not only in that one video we shot, we were talking about how saying no to things and not, putting up that boundary of saying no, it's a no for me. But also sometimes walking away and finding a new tribe might be what you need. So, they always say the 5 people that you spend the most time with is who you become most like. And so a part of self-care is analyze who you're hanging out with. Are they empowering? When you win at something, are they cheering you on? Do they got your back, or are they tearing you down? Because if they're tearing you down, dude, those aren't your people.
It's like my dad always said, you can soar with eagles, you can gobble with turkeys.
Yeah.
And it's what you choose to do.
Yeah.
And you always have choice.
Yeah. But I think on the happy hippie realm of things, which is, what we're all about over here.
We're going to hang out with those good vibe, like-minded people.
Yeah. Yeah. And, the universe is listening to you, and your soul is right there, got your back. So if you're feeling like that and you're like, you know what? You're right. Like, there's, I feel like crap when I go around these people. How do you feel when you go around certain people? And sometimes you got a family situation where maybe you can't cut them off. You know what you can do and who you got, and sometimes coworkers, well, you're kind of stuck in the same place. But is there a way that you can protect your energy? Is there a way that you can let some of it go, block some of it out? And then is there a way that you can go pick up some new people? So maybe you don't, announce to your whole friend group or your family, I'm done with you, you're toxic, you're terrible for me, and go running out the door. But maybe you go to that yoga class or you go to that, whatever, and you go find some new people and you start adding them in. And if you can't do that, okay, let's say you're I've been there. Let's say you're a stay-at-home mom with some little kids and you're just like, I can't. This is all I got is nap time, Then you know what? Here's the answer to that. Podcasts, audiobooks, YouTube videos. You find your tribe.
Find the good part of technology.
Right, because there's a ton of people out there that are awesome. And, that's what we do. So if you can't find them in person, no worries. Find them digitally. Look for podcasts. Look for spiritual groups. Look for forums. Look for something that you can join where you can add in some of the like-minded people. And I think that might be a really good self-care and really help you go down this. So then we have the King of Wands over here. And the King of Wands, and look it. I never even noticed that. Huh. Who's in the background again?
Lion.
The lion.
Man, he's
I did not know what is up with that lion. I never even noticed he was there. So that's 3 times in the same reading. So, if lion is your spirit animal, I'm telling you, this is the reading for you. So King of Wands, passion, creativity, spark. So I think you take all of this and look at, I think this he almost looks like the same guy. Not quite, I guess. But anyways, the Emperor, he has his stuff together. And the Emperor is building the life that he wants. And don't feel bad about that. Build the life you want. You have, what were we just talking about a couple days ago? How, remember I woke up with some sort of insight and it was like.
Well, that's on the daily.
Right. Days get pretty wild around here with my messages from Spirit, but we have fun with it. But no, the message was, it wasn't like yesterday morning or the morning before. I woke up and I don't know what I was dreaming about or what was going on in my dreams, but it was just like I kind of woke up with this fresh new perspective of, dude, this is like our life. Like our spirits are right here in this body and I'm halfway through mine. And I better hurry up. I better do all the things that I want to do. I better get all my work out there. But, because I've been holding my back, myself back and like being scared of some of that. But I just woke up with, I don't know where I was at in my dreams. Maybe it was that lion working with me. I don't know. But I woke up and it was just like, it wasn't like an urgent, like a, oh my God, I'm dying kind of a thing. That wasn't it. It was just kind of a, how much time are you going to waste? How much time are you going to waste doing things that you don't love? Doing things, hanging around people you don't want to hang around, going to a job you don't want to go to, spending your time, keeping yourself from the hobbies and the things that light you up. How much time are you going to waste? And the answer to me that morning was just, none. I got to go. Maybe it was that Aries energy. I think Aries and the Lion, the Leo, boy, they are really flavoring this week. So then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which kind of ties in perfectly. Because the Eight of Pentacles, she is just busy. First of all, I love the fact that she is underneath of the beautiful moon cycle. But she is just so busy working on her work. Look at her. She's got plants, which reminds me of Lexi. She's got crystals. She's got smudge. She's got candles. She's got books. She's got a feather. She's got all kinds of stuff here, and she is spending her time enjoying what she's doing. She's not worried about the past. She's not worried about other people. She's just going with what lights her up.
Oh, that does look like Lexi.
Doesn't it? Lexi is my daughter, by the way, that is Hunter's fiance. So
she was I took her from you.
Right. I call him my son-in-law, but he's not quite technically. They are engaged, but we just have this like our souls. Yeah, just so you guys know, we and Hunter, we have this weird like soul connection where he's my daughter's soulmate. They got together, but somehow, and they are so perfect. They are the cutest couple. Speaking of which, I just do have to say, so my daughter Lexi is like extremely into plants, and she loves succulents and she loves cactus.
You're telling me.
So yeah, so a couple days ago, Hunter took the day off and he drove her to an amazing cactus farm, succulent farm, some greenhouse, and dropped $400 on new plants for her. So. Yeah.
A healthy son.
Yeah. So his house is being taken over by all of these plants that she loves, but he loves her and she loves him, and it's awesome. And as a weird side note, somehow Hunter and I's souls, we know that we have worked together in many lifetimes in the past, and it's no accident we're sitting here. So just in case anybody was wondering about this dynamic of why do we have a 45-year-old woman and a 23-year-old boy here doing these videos, because
my soul had to come here and kick you in gear.
Right. Because I've been hiding for 10 years, hiding out and studying and going all this spiritual stuff, but talking myself out of actually ever taking the initiative. So in enters Hunter, my tech guy and my cheerleader and my spiritual business partner, and he said, come on, we're getting this going. So you have him to thank for why we're actually here. Because he set up the microphone, he set up the cameras, he set up the lighting, he does all that. Because otherwise I wouldn't. I freak myself out and run from it, but I think the two of us are kind of a dynamic duo. So.
Amen for my Virgo-ness.
Yes. Yes, and I am a Capricorn and can really get stuff going, and he's a Virgo and can really make it perfect. So just so you guys know also, I lay out the cards, and the little Virgo comes behind here and straightens them all out before the... Because I don't put them out. I don't put them out right in the right order, but he straightens them all out, makes sure everything's perfect. So the two of us, I think, are a pretty kick-ass combination over here.
I know.
Yeah. So that is what I see here. Definitely tune in. Definitely tune into that lion energy. If lion is one of your spirit animals, or you can just imagine a lion running across the safari. You can watch the movie Lion King if that's your thing. Ask lion spirit for some courage to lean into some self-care, to walk away from some stuff, to fill your world with some new things that you love. And one more thing on a side note just before we go, I forgot that I have this lunarly candle burning up here in the corner. This is the pink moon lunarly candle from the Aries and the new moon in Aries. So lunarly is a really cool box that actually Lexi and I just started subscribing to, and unfortunately I've already unboxed for this month, but I'm thinking that when the new box comes for the next new moon, which will be the new moon in Taurus, that how about if we do an unboxing?
That would be
So,
awesome.
yeah, Lunarly is a really cool subscription thing where every other month they send you a plant. And then on the opposite months, they send you a candle, and then they send you other spiritual goodies. And me and Lexi got into that a couple months ago, and we're really liking it, and I think we're gonna continue. So maybe we'll start doing some unboxing over here on Happy Hippie and show you what our little treasures are. So, Hunter, is there anything else you want to add to this?
I think we pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
Definitely had some good rants.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I wanted to do really, really fast is just a very brief, I'm going to send you guys out of here with just a very brief grounding exercise, because those grounding and that letting go, so here's a little trick that I learned several years ago, but let's just take a moment to end this with just a little grounding and letting go. So if you are not driving and you are able to get in a comfortable position and close your eyes just to tune out kind of what's going on in your surroundings, that would be great. And take a few deep breaths in just to kind of let go. Call your energy back in that you may have scattered out in the universe. And on the out breath, send anything that you've taken on from other people that you're ready to let go of. Just let that go back to them now. So calling your own energy and let everybody else's go. And if you can imagine, feel yourself being supported by the chair that you're in. Just notice how there's nothing that you have to do in this moment. You're just supported and loved by the universe. Supported and loved by Mother Earth. And at the base of your spine, if you can imagine your root chakra, if you can see it as a red ball of light, just gently spinning at your root chakra. And from your root chakra, imagine that you have a grounding cord that comes out of your root chakra and goes all the way down into Mother Earth. Just feel that cord going all the way down and attaching itself into the core of Mother Earth. And the beautiful part about this grounding cord is at any moment you can connect this way, and you can send anything that you're ready to let go of and release and transmute. You can let all that flow down through your grounding cord and just give it to Mother Earth and ask her to purify it and recycle it. So any stress and tension, anything that you've been holding on to that's heavy, that you're ready to let go of, just go ahead and release that energy and let it go. And if you want to take that a step further, you can imagine above your head, a couple feet above your head, a golden ball of white light. And just feel as that refreshing new energy, that golden white loving energy from the universe flows down through your crown chakra and fills your entire body with a refreshing energy. So you're letting the old flow out and you're filling your cup with love and compassion and joy and peace. So I hope that that makes you feel better, and whenever you are ready, you can kind of bring your awareness back into your body, and when you're ready, open your eyes. And we want to thank you for joining us for another episode of the Happy Hippie. We're so happy that you're here, and we will be back to see you again soon.